At the beginning of the story, we see that in a small basement-like apartment in Seoul, the Kim family is struggling to survive. The family consists of the father, Ki-taek, the mother, Chung-suk, the son, Koo, and the daughter, Kyung. Because of their poor financial condition, they do whatever they can to make ends meet. They fold pizza boxes to earn money and somehow try to get by, but this job is not enough to cover their household expenses. They have to struggle even for the smallest things. Their situation is so desperate that they use their phones near the bathroom window to steal Wi-Fi signals. Sometimes they even leave their windows open so that poisonous insecticide gas can enter the house to kill pests, even though they themselves have to breathe in the fumes. One day, Ki-woo's friend, who studied with him at university, visits their home. He gives Ki-woo a stone and says that his grandfather sent it for him. This stone is considered very special, and it is believed that whoever possesses it will gain wealth and happiness. As they sit and talk, Ki-woo tells his friend about his financial situation. His friend then tells him that he is going abroad for higher studies and suggests that Ki-woo take over his job of tutoring a girl in English, a girl who belongs to a very wealthy family. Ki-woo hesitates and says that he does not even have a college degree, so why would they hire him? His friend replies that because Ki-woo served in the army and took the university entrance exam 4 times, his English is quite good. He also adds that Ki-woo's sister, Kyung, is skilled in Photoshop and can forge fake university documents. The family they will work for is very naive and will not check the documents carefully, so his recommendation alone will be enough. After preparing the fake degree and all the documents, Ki-woo puts on his best clothes and one day goes to the Park family's house. Their house is located in a fancy part of the city and is very large and luxurious. The Park family also consists of 4 members: the husband, Mr. Park, Park-geun, the wife, Yeon-kyo, and their 2 children, the daughter Da-hae and the son Da-song. There is also a housekeeper named Moon-gwang who works there. Yeon-kyo, who is also known as Mrs. Park, interviews Ki-woo. As expected, she barely pays attention to the documents and trusts Min-hyuk's recommendation. Ki-woo gives a demo class, during which Mrs. Park sits in to observe whether he can teach well. She is satisfied with his performance, hires him for the job, and offers him a good salary. After the first class, Ki-woo also meets Da-hae's younger brother, Da-song, who has joined the Scouts and is very fascinated with becoming an Indian. Ki-woo himself used to be a scout, so he understands the boy's interests well. When Mrs. Park shows him Da-song's drawings, Ki-woo talks about the child's art as if it were a great masterpiece. Mrs. Park mentions that she needs a new art teacher because none of the previous teachers managed to stay for more than a month. At that moment, an idea strikes Ki-woo, and he recommends his cousin's friend Jessica, who he claims is a highly qualified artist. In reality, he is talking about his sister, Kyung. He suggests that Mrs. Park hire her. The next day, Ki-woo brings his sister for the interview and introduces her under the name Jessica. He does not reveal her real name so that no one suspects they are siblings. While Mrs. Park is talking to her, Ki-woo is tutoring Da-hae. Da-hae feels jealous, thinking that the art teacher might be Ki-woo's girlfriend. Ki-woo explains to her that she is not his girlfriend and that he has no interest in her. Da-hae accepts this, and the 2 of them share a kiss. On the other hand, Kyung uses her cleverness and confidence to convince Mrs. Park that she should be allowed to teach Da-song alone. When the lesson ends, Mrs. Park is very impressed to see how calm and disciplined Da-song has become. Kyung then points out hidden signs in his paintings and claims that they indicate deep psychological trauma. She also mentions that a mysterious incident occurred during his first class, which shocks Mrs. Park. Mrs. Park completely believes Kyung and hires her as well. In the evening, Kyung meets the homeowner, Mr. Park. Mr. Park then tells the driver to drop Kyung home, as it is already quite late. On the way, an idea comes to Kyung's mind. She secretly takes off her underwear and hides it under the car seat, then tells the driver that she needs to meet someone and asks him to drop her at the metro station instead. Meanwhile, thanks to their new salaries, the Kim family has started eating better food and is planning their next move. Soon after, Mr. Park finds the underwear hidden by Kyung in the car. He begins to suspect that the driver secretly brings his girlfriends into the car. Mr. Park thinks that no sensible person would forget underwear in someone else's car, so he starts to suspect that the driver not only brings women into the car, but might also be using drugs. He discusses this with his wife. When Ki-young finishes her tutoring and is about to leave, Mrs. Park stops her and asks about the night the driver dropped her off. Ki-young takes advantage of the situation and says that the driver tried to forcefully drop her at home, even though she had clearly asked to be dropped at the station. Hearing this, Mrs. Park decides that they will fire the driver on some pretext. Ki-young then cleverly suggests that a mature and experienced employee would be more trustworthy, and she recommends her uncle's old driver for the job. Of course, this driver is none other than her father, Ki-taek, who had once been a professional driver himself. Mr. Park takes Ki-taek's driving test. Ki-taek impresses him with his good manners and deep knowledge of the city. He finds the correct routes without using GPS, which convinces Mr. Park that he is extremely experienced. His driving is so smooth that even while turning, not a single drop of coffee spills from Mr. Park's cup. Pleased by this, Mr. Park hires Ki-taek on the spot without any hesitation. Now all three of them begin working for the Park family. They pretend not to know one another while on the job, so that the Park family does not suspect that they are actually members of the same family. Now all four of them come together and make a plan. The most difficult one yet, getting rid of the housekeeper, Moon Gwang, and replacing her with their mother. Moon Gwang is not only stubborn and clever, but she has also been working in this house since the time of the previous owners. This means firing her will not be easy, and the Kim family will need to use another smart trick. One day, while talking to Desong, Ki-woo learns that bringing peaches into the house is strictly forbidden because Moon Gwang is allergic to them. After learning this, Ki-woo and Ki-young make a plan. When Moon Gwang is not paying attention, they secretly sprinkle peach powder on her. This triggers her allergy, and she has to be taken to the hospital. While she is there, Ki-taek also arrives and cleverly takes a selfie at the right moment, in which Moon Gwang can be seen coughing in the background. Later, he shows this photo to Mrs. Park and tries to convince her that he overheard Moon Gwang talking about having tuberculosis. However, Mrs. Park does not believe him at first. Then Ki-taek sends a message to his daughter Ki-young, saying that they will reach home in 3 minutes. As soon as Ki-young sees the message, she once again sprinkles peach powder on Moon Gwang, causing her to start coughing again. During this time, Mrs. Park arrives there as well. Moon Gwang uses a tissue and throws it into the dustbin. Ki-taek then goes to the dustbin where she, through the tissue, pours ketchup on it and shows it to his employer. This finally convinces Mrs. Park that Moon Gwang has tuberculosis. Mrs. Park, who is afraid of keeping a sick employee in the house, makes Ki-taek promise that he will not tell her husband about this. Then, using an excuse, she fires Moon Gwang and later convinces Mr. Park that Moon Gwang quit the job on her own. Mr. Park begins to worry about proper cooking and cleanliness in the house. Seeing this, Ki-taek gives him the visiting card of a reputed agency where he once used to work, claiming that the agency provides reliable employees. In reality, this is just another trick by the Kim family. The phone number printed on the card was actually taken by Ki-young specifically for this purpose. When Mrs. Park calls that number, Ki-young speaks like a professional secretary. She talks about documents and procedures, making the agency seem legitimate and raising no suspicion. Eventually, Chung-suk is hired as the new housekeeper. The entire Kim family is now working in the Park house, and no one suspects a thing. However, Desong begins to feel a little suspicious because all the new employees have the same smell. He even mentions it, but since he is just a child, no one takes his words seriously. At first, the Kim family thinks it might be because of the soap they use, but soon they realize that the real reason is their old, cheap basement apartment. The smell of it has seeped into their clothes and bodies. One day, the Park family prepares to go on a camping trip and leaves Chung-suk in charge of the house. As soon as they leave, the other members of the Kim family take advantage of the opportunity and enter the house. They begin to relax, enjoy expensive food and drinks, and for a while, feel like the true owners of this luxurious life. They take over the entire house, using every room, eating fine food, drinking costly wine, and indulging freely in comfort and luxury. During dinner, the Kim family dreams about the future and imagines fully adapting to this new, wealthy lifestyle. Outside, a heavy storm is approaching. Just then, Suddenly, the doorbell rings. At the door stands Moongwang, soaked from the rain and visibly nervous. She says that when she was fired in a hurry, she left something behind in the basement and has come to retrieve it. The Kim family immediately hides. Chung-suk lets Moongwang inside, but after going down to the basement, Moongwang does not come back up for a long time. Growing suspicious, Chung-suk goes downstairs to see what Moongwang is doing. There, Chung-suk sees Moongwang pushing a cabinet. It does not move because a plate is stuck underneath it. As soon as Chung-suk removes the plate, the cabinet slides aside. Beneath, it is a hidden passage, a secret stairway leading downward. Chung-suk goes down and discovers a man there. It turns out to be Moongwang's husband. Moongwang has been hiding him there for about 4.5 years because he is drowning in debt. If he does not repay it, the people he owes money to will kill him. When the previous owner vacated the house to sell it, Moongwang secretly hid her husband there. The Park family never knew about this bunker. Moongwang then asks Chung-suk to bring food to her husband once a week in exchange for money. Chung-suk refuses and starts calling the police, at which point Moongwang desperately begs her to stop. Meanwhile, the Kim family members who have been hiding and listening to everything accidentally slip. All 3 of them fall out into the open. Seizing this golden opportunity, Moongwang immediately pulls out her phone and starts recording. In the video, the Kim family members can be heard calling each other by family names, exposing their relationship. Their scheme is revealed. Moongwang threatens to show the video to the homeowners, and Chung-suk begins pleading with her. After this, they all go upstairs. The Kim family is forced to sit crouched with their hands raised, while Moongwang and her husband start enjoying themselves in the house. Suddenly, all 4 members of the Kim family attack the couple, snatch the phone, and delete the video. A violent struggle breaks out between them. Just then, the house phone rings. Chung-suk answers it. It is Mrs. Park. She tells her to prepare dinner because the camping trip has been canceled due to heavy rain and they will be home soon. As soon as the call ends, the entire Kim family springs into action. Chung-suk hurriedly starts cooking. Ki-taek drags Gun-si to the basement and ties him up. Ki-young quickly hides the trash under the furniture. Ki-woo carries the unconscious Moongwang down to the basement as well. Then he goes upstairs to put her diary back in its place. Just as the Park family arrives home, Ki-woo hides under Da-hai's bed, while Ki-young rolls under the table. When Moongwang regains consciousness, she tries to escape, but Chung-suk pushes her hard, causing her to fall back into the basement. Moongwang hits her head badly and loses consciousness again. Ki-taek drags her unconscious body to where her husband is already being held. Gun-se repeatedly bangs his head against a light switch, following a Morse code guide pasted on the wall. Because Dae-sung is a scout, Gun-se hopes that one day the boy will understand his Morse code message. Ki-taek, however, finds this idea completely absurd. He ties Gun-se to a pipe and leaves. Upstairs, during dinner, Mrs. Park talks to Chung-suk about the traumatic incident Dae-sung experienced in 1st grade. She explains that one night, Dae-sung had sneaked into the kitchen to steal his birthday cake when he suddenly saw a ghost coming out of the basement, who was actually Gun-se. The terrifying sight shocked Dae-sung so badly that he had a seizure and started foaming at the mouth. This is why he has been in therapy ever since, and why his parents leave the house every year on his birthday. Meanwhile, Ki-woo is hiding under the bed, and Dae-sung's dog almost discovers him. Fortunately, Mrs. Park picks up the dog and leaves without checking under the bed. Mr. and Mrs. Park go into their bedroom. Ki-woo and Ki-taek quietly come into the living room to find Ki-young and escape together. But suddenly, Dae-sung screams loudly and runs down the stairs. Panicking, all 3 of them hide under the living room table and wait in silence. Dae-sung wants to go camping in the garden despite the rain, and his parents allow him to do so. They decide to sleep on the living room sofa to keep an eye on him. The Kim family is now forced to hide under the table and listen to the Park couple's conversation, in which they complain about the employee's body odor. Eventually, when the Park couple falls into a deep sleep, the Kim family slowly crawls out and escapes from the house. Soaked in heavy rain, they run back toward their neighborhood. But the scene there is even more horrifying. The entire area is flooded with filthy sewer water. When they reach their apartment, they find it completely submerged as well. They gather whatever essential belongings they can and leave. To spend the night, they go to a local gymnasium where the authorities have arranged shelter for poor people who lost their homes in the storm. Ki-woo has brought the Scholar's Stone with him, and as he sleeps, he hugs it tightly while thinking about his future. He realizes how badly his family situation has deteriorated and feels that there is no hope for a solution. In the bunker, Moon-gwang dies due to the head injury she suffered, and Gun-se tries to use the lights to send a Morse code message asking for help. Da-song sees the flashing lights and reads the code, but he cannot understand it because Gun-se is unable to send the code properly. He is simply bleeding from his forehead. The next day, Mrs. Park suddenly decides to throw a birthday party for Da-song. Chung-suk has to go outside to cook and set up the tables. Ki-taek has to drive the Park couple around to buy party supplies. And inside the car, Mrs. Park covers her nose because of the strange smell coming from Ki-taek, which deeply hurts him. Meanwhile, Kyung and Ki-woo must maintain their image as smart and refined tutors because they have been invited to the party as important guests. Everyone is forced to hide their true pain and sorrow and keep smiling on the outside, even though they're all completely broken inside. During the party, Mr. Park and Ki-taek dress up like Indians, as they are planning to put on a performance for Da-song so that he can enjoy his cake. After spending some time with Da-hai, Ki-woo takes the Scholar's Stone and goes down to the basement, where Gun-se, who has somehow managed to free himself, attacks him. Gun-se loops a rope around Ki-woo's neck to stop him from escaping and then strikes him with the stone, knocking him unconscious. He then emerges from the bunker, grabs a knife from the kitchen, and heads toward the party in the garden. Seeking revenge for Moon-gwang, Gun-se runs outside and stabs Kyung. As soon as Da-song sees this, he suffers a seizure, while Da-hai carries Ki-woo's body outside to seek help. Ki-taek rushes to his daughter and tries to stop the bleeding by pressing his hands against her wound, while Chung-suk jumps on Gun-se and kills him with a barbecue skewer. Mr. Park shows no concern for any of his employees. He only wants to take his son to the hospital. He orders Ki-taek to bring the car, but Ki-taek refuses to leave his family in this condition and throws the car keys toward him so that he could drive himself. The keys fall into the grass, and at that moment, Gun-se collapses onto them. Mr. Park steps forward to pick up the keys, but even in such a serious emergency, he covers his nose while moving the body aside. This gesture suddenly fills Ki-taek with rage. He picks up a knife, stabs Mr. Park, and then flees the scene. A few weeks later, Ki-woo regains consciousness after brain surgery. Due to the injury and the operation, his mental state becomes fragile, and he starts laughing uncontrollably at inappropriate moments. Even after learning that his sister has died and his father is missing, he and his mother are arrested and charged with fraud, but because of the traumatic circumstances and the fact that the actions were considered self-defense, he is eventually released on probation. He stops laughing only when he sees a news report showing the now empty house, realizing that everything that happened was real. He and his mother still do not know where his father is, but the police keep them under surveillance for several months in hopes of finding some trace of him. Months later, when the police stop monitoring them, Ki-woo climbs a hill and looks at the Park family's old house, which has now been purchased by a German family. He then notices a light flashing in Morse code. It is his father, who has been hiding in the bunker ever since killing his employer. He buried Moon-gwang behind the house and survived by stealing food from the kitchen every night. He has been sending Morse code messages every day, hoping that his son would someday see them. Back in their old apartment, where he still lives with his mother, Ki-woo writes a letter to his father. In it, he promises that he will work hard, earn enough money one day to buy the house, and finally reunite with him. But none of this actually happens. It is all just in his imagination. And this is where the story ends. Thanks for watching.